Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our current affairs discussion, class number 5. So, in this discussion, we will be continuing with our international relations. So, before going into that, let us start with what are the free trade agreements that India has done as far as right from the beginning is considered. Right, that is one thing that everyone has to understand, which is very important for this year prelims. Let's have a look at that component further before we proceed to the second component. Right, guys? So yesterday we have been discussing about that component, the free trade agreements. However, uh, as usual, you have to remember it in the context of the map pointing. So here I have prepared a map for that. So prepare it in the map pointing. That will be a bit helpful for every one of you. So let's start with that. So first thing first, with how many countries did India had made FTA? So far, India has done FTA with 18 countries, and you have to remember all that 18 countries, which is extremely important for our prelims this year. So before that, can you please let me know who are the members of EFTA agreement? EFTA agreement. Can you please tell who are the members of EFTA? Let's see that. Is my voice audible? One minute. So can you please check now? Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland. Yeah, very good. So that is important thing. Yes. Now, so that is one question which I am expecting this year. You have to remember. So remember the following discussion also. With how many countries that India had made free trade agreements so far? So far, India has made free trade agreements with 18 countries, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your 18 countries for your reference. So prepare this. Economic survey also pointed out to this, and this is extremely important because even Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi also spoke about these contexts recently. Yeah, good to go. Thank you for the confirmation, editorial committee. Yeah, look at this. This is what I was speaking about. So with India, Japan, South Korea, so Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore in the ASEAN region. South Korea, Japan, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka. So this is here. And then Australia, New Zealand, Australia, New Zealand, and going towards the west, you find Mauritius, and then you have Oman and UAE. So with Oman and UAE also we signed a free trade agreement. And then with European Union, the mother of all trade deals, as per Indian Commerce Ministry, is here. That is called European Union Free Trade as well as with United Kingdoms, we have made. Even with America, we have finalized it, but that is not yet in force. Once it is in force, that will become officially announced. So, though the primary agreement was done, it was not yet came into force. Next is we have with these countries. So, with the individual countries, we have Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, 5 plus 3, Australia, New Zealand, 10, Mauritius, 11, Oman, UAE, 12, 13, EU 14, UK 15, and then you have with the three groups. One is EFTA. Just people have commented what is this EFTA. That is extremely important. And then with ASEAN group we have free trade agreement as a whole, and SAFTA we have free trade agreement. SAFTA is South Asian Free Trade Agreement. This is for SAARC countries. So for the entire SAARC region we have free trade agreement, and with the ASEAN region we have free trade agreements. This is one thing that we have to remember as far as this concept is considered. So if you look at India's free trade agreements, India has free trade agreements with these 18 nations or 18 groups. Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, UAE, Oman, UK, EU, ASEAN, SAARC, EFTA, Mauritius. Please remember them. That is extremely important. Now, going further, if you look at India's various evacuation operations, recently, Operation Sindhu was the evacuation mission of India to bring back the civilians who were stranded in Iran. So similarly, whenever a conflict occurs in some part of the world, India is launching some evacuation drills or evacuation plans, and that is named after certain that is named with some names. So have a look at it. So in the year 2025, so the latest one is Operation Sindhu. Operation Sindhu. Right. So that was not only for this plan. Last year also Iran was under crisis. To bring the stranded Indians back to India, we launched Operation Sindhu. Before this, in Myanmar, we have Operation Brahma to bring back our Indians. Next one is, and this is also to give humanitarian support to Myanmar, to give humanitarian support as well as to bring our people back. They have launched this. Operation Sagar Bandhu, this is to give relief to the so-called people who have suffered. Sri Lanka due to cyclone Ditwa, Ditwah. So this is support to this government of India has launched this operation. Operation Samudra Setu is India's naval exercise during COVID-19. So during COVID-19, to bring back Indians stranded in different parts of the world, government of India has started Operation Samudra Setu. And then to bring back the Indians who were struck between Russia and Ukraine war, government of India started Operation Ganga. Next, Operation Dost is India's support to Syria and Turkey when they faced earthquake. Syria and Turkey. Operation Kaveri is to evacuate India in the year 2003 from Sudan. So Sudan, already in my class one, I have said what is the issue in Sudan and what are the borders of Sudan. In that context, this Operation Kaveri is to bring back Indians stranded in the so-called Sudan area. So Operation Ganga, Operation Sudan, Operation Samudra Setu, and then you have Operation Sindhu, Operation Ajay, Operation Sagar Bandhu, and Operation Brahma, these things. Next, Operation Maitri is to support Nepal in the year 2015 when they were hit with the so-called security challenges. Operation Dev Shakti is to bring back Indians who were struck in Afghanistan, during the political regime change in Afghanistan. So when Taliban took over it, so there was some clashes in Afghanistan to bring back Indians back. They have launched Operation Devi Shakti. So this is one thing. So remember these guys: Operation Maitri, Operation Devi Shakti, Operation Ganga, Operation Dost, Operation Kaveri, Operation Brahma, Operation Sagar Bandhu. So can you please tell someone what is Operation Vijay? What is Operation Vijay? So from which part we wanted to bring them back? Which part we wanted to bring back? Can someone say that? Operation Ajay. Operation Ajay is the plan to bring back whom? To liberate Goa. Ajay, not Shiva Shankar. Operation Ajay. This is for those people who were stranded in Israel, not a Vijay, this is Ajay. Okay. Those people who were stranded in Israel, India wanted to bring them back, and that is called as Operation Ajay during the so-called the conflict that has taken place between Israel and Palestinians recently. So Operation Kaveri, to bring back the Indians, right, from Sudan. This is Operation Kaveri, Sudan. Operation Ganga, Ukraine. Operation Rahat, Rahat. Operation Rahat is from Yemen. So there are two more things. Operation Rahat is from Yemen, right? You have Operation Rahat. It is from Yemen. Next, Operation Dost is a friendly arrangement to our Turkey and Syria. Operation Sindhu, the present one and earlier one. Operation Devi Shakti is to bring back Indians from Afghanistan during political turmoil in Afghanistan. And then we have one more thing known as Operation Sankat Motion. Now, Operation Sankat Motion was operated to bring back Indians from South Sudan. Operation Sankat Motion is to bring back Indians from South Sudan. So this is another thing that you have to remember. Operation Sankat Motion is also one program that government of India has launched. So Operation Ajay, as I said, it is to bring back Indians who were stranded in the so-called Israel. So there are various operations. These various operations that India has conducted in order to bring back our people stranded in different parts of the world due to various conflicts, be it Sudan conflict, be it Afghanistan conflict, be it South Sudan conflict, be it Ukraine conflict, or the ongoing Iran crisis or Israel crisis. So, and even not only this, during the times of COVID, we have also launched some programs in order to bring back people who are stranded in different parts of the world due to this incident. Right? This is another thing that we have to remember, and that is another story that you have to know. Next, we'll go to Gulf countries. Gulf countries are very, very important and extremely important. So there are six Gulf countries. All Gulf countries are monarchies. So now, why Gulf countries are in news? We all know that the West Asia is in under crisis due to so-called the plan of action that was started by America as well as Israel in Iran. So can someone type what is the code of operation that was named by America to launch in Iran, and what is the code name for Israel launching attacks on Iran? So what are the operation names are called? So the ongoing crisis, we've given some names. Can you please tell me what are the operation names are called? Anyone who can tell? Operation Sankat Pochan. Okay. Sir, voice is not good for some inconvenience is there. Hello, hello, hello. So is this? Can you please check whether the problem is from my side or not? Because it is showing everything perfect from my side. Can you please check whether voice is a problem from my side or editorial committee? Can you please confirm that? Operation Rising Lion and okay, sir. Fine now. Okay. So Operation Rising Lion. The next one is, what is the operation of America in Israel, in Iran? What is the operation called as? So we'll start with looking at West Asian countries. West Asia is also called as Middle East from the global perspective. So we have to understand what are the countries in the Middle East, and particularly we have to know what are the borders of Iran and the Gulf countries. So this is one of the most important thing. So far we have studied about Israel borders also. So now we'll start studying the so-called the borders of West Asia altogether. So let's try to understand West Asia in depth a bit. Roaring Lion, Fury, Operation Fury. Have a look at this. If you go for West Asia, we can expect what have as far as West Asia is considered. We have the countries like this, starting with Iran, because after this I said this is Central Asia countries. Yesterday I said IT, UK, PAT, KK, PAT, KK. All these are Central Asian countries. So starting with Iran, look at West Asian countries: Iran, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon. This is European country. Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Yemen. This is Persian Gulf. This is Gulf of Oman. Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. This is Red Sea. This is Sea of Aden. This is Strait of Bab-el-Mandeb. This is Strait of Hormuz. This is very, very important this year for your prelims. So the war has been started in Iran. So what Iran is doing in order to retaliate this operation Midnight Fury and as well as Operation Rising Lion, what Iran is doing, it is trying to neutralize the US bases across the region. US military bases are present in US military bases are present in Kuwait, they are present in Qatar, United Arab Emirates also. They wanted to neutralize this. So in this GCC is high. We have to understand what are the GCC countries, what are the countries surrendering in the so-called West Asia. Last 2 minutes, it wasn't. Okay, let's have a look at GCC and let's have a look at West Asia altogether. So you have to remember at least Iran borders because Iran is all we know that is in news recently. So in that context, we have to remember this. So look at this: Iran, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Oman, and Yemen, along with Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. These are the states that we have. First of all, Iran borders are important. Remember Iran borders. Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Armenia, Turkey. There are 7 borders of Iran that you have to. So that is first thing that everyone has to remember. So what are the borders of Iran? The borders of Iran are starting with Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, Iraq. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 borders. Along with this, you also have the borders of Caspian Sea surrendering it. You also have Caspian Sea surrendering it. So that is also one important thing that you have to observe here. So Caspian Sea is another country which is bordering here. So these are borders of Iran. Now coming to Gulf countries, coming to GCC countries, guys. Which among the following are GCC countries? Gulf Cooperation Council. So if you look at Gulf countries, there are 6 countries in the Gulf. There are 6 countries in the Gulf. One minute, guys. There is some network issue here. What are the Gulf countries that we have here? Yeah, Iran responded with Operation True Promise. Yeah, that is also correct. Yes, Iran responded with Operation True Promise. Operation True Promise is Iranian response as far as Israel and America is considered. Yes, you have to remember that. Thanks, Sherwan, for that information. Yeah, that is correct. Just go to for let's go for this Gulf countries. Let's have a look at the Gulf Cooperation Council. So this today now what I am going to discuss. This is going to be one of the most important discussions that can be asked definitely in exam today. This year we can expect one question from the discussion that I am going to have now. So let's have what is it. So if you look at this area is extremely important as far as UPSC is considered. This area is extremely important as far as UPSC is considered. Right. things. Second point that you have to remember, first point is Iran borders. Second point is borders of Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman are connected through Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz. This is second one. Third point is Red Sea and Gulf of Aden are connected through which is strait? Bab Ali Mandeb. This is third point. Fourth is Israel borders. Israel borders are Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt. Fourth point. Israel borders. Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt. This is fourth. Fifth question. Between Lebanon and Syria, you have here Golan Heights, and then you have West Bank between Israel and Jordan, and then you have Gaza Peninsula here. So within Israel, you have to remember Golan Heights, West Bank, and Gaza Strip. So these are the things that you have to remember first. So what I said, one question definitely you can expect this year from the following lines. One is borders of Iraq. Second one is Strait of Hormuz. Third one is Strait of Babil Mandeb. Fourth, borders of Israel. Fifth, inside Israel, you have to look at West Bank, Golan Heights, and then remember Gaza Strip. Israel borders, I said Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt. Israel will be here. Egypt, Sinai Peninsula is present. Sinai Peninsula is here. This is the next thing. Sixth one is GCC countries. Which are GCC countries among this? That is the sixth point, which is very, very important. Let's have a look at that also. So already I discussed about Sea of Azov, Black Sea, Sea of Aegean, Marmara Sea, all these things. So recall that discussion. I am not going to that present. Strait of Hormuz, I hope you remember. Strait of Suez, I hope you remember. And then ethnic tribes of Kurds are present here. So Kurds or Kurds, Kurds, are ethnic tribes present in Turkey and in these regions. Ethnic tribes of Kurds are present here. Next one. Major cities they gave, right? Major cities, I'll come at some other point, depending upon the questions. We look at it. Already I have said what are the major questions in Iran. So Strait of Hormuz is important because world's 20% of oil trade goes through Strait of Hormuz. That is why it is important. After that, look at these countries, Gulf countries. So which are Gulf countries? The Gulf countries include screen is cutting off. So Gulf Cooperation Council is an association of 6 nations. It is an intergovernmental group. Gulf Cooperation Council is an intergovernmental group. For what purpose it is formed? It is formed for the purpose of political, economic, and strategic purpose in West Asia. So normally, traditionally, it used to be the fighting between Iran and Gulf countries. So when this Gulf war was going on between Iran and Iraq, in order to ensure that the war is not being going out of the hand and it is not reaching the Gulf nations, GCC was formed way back in the year 1981. So the background of 1981 Gulf formation is the Iran and Iraq war that was taken place. So in order to ensure that this Shia conflicts will not come to this Sunni majority areas of the Gulf, they have formed this. So there are six majority countries or six countries which are a part and parcel of this Gulf. So what are those? Yes, have a look at it. The six Gulf countries are Oman, OMAN, with capital Muscat. You have to remember these guys, GCC countries along with capitals. Oman, Muscat, UAE, Abu Dhabi. A part of Oman also lies here. A part of Oman also lies here. So Strait of Hormuz ఆనుకొని ఏది ఉంది ఒమన్ కంట్రీ ఉంటుంది. So Oman is present here. One part of Oman is also present here. So Abu Dhabi, UAE capital is Abu Dhabi. So this is second country. Third country is Qatar. Fourth country Bahrain. Fifth country Kuwait. Sixth country Saudi Arabia. These are six Gulf countries: Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. These are the six countries that we have in the Gulf. So the first thing is you have to remember Oman capital Muscat, UAE capital Abu Dhabi, Qatar capital Doha, Bahrain capital Manama, and then Kuwait capital Kuwait City, Saudi Arabia capital Riyadh. Saudi Arabia capital Riyadh. These are the GCC countries. These are the GCC countries. So remember them. This is Yemen. Yemen is not a country which is of GCC, right? This is what we have to understand as far as the countries are considered. Where is the capital? So it was formed in the May year 1981 with its headquarters at Riyadh. So the headquarters of GCC is at Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. So here it is the capital headquarters of this entire GCC. Now, what is the purpose of it? It is a political and economic alliance. It is a political and economic alliance to bring all these six nations together. Political and economic alliance to bring all these nations together. It is an intergovernmental group. It is an intergovernmental group which was formed in order to protect these countries. In order to protect these countries. So this is one thing. This is one thing that we have to remember as far as GCC is considered. So as far as GCC is considered, just remember that that is more than enough. So sixth one is GCC headquarters. So these are the things that we have to remember as far as West Asia is considered, and we have to also remember. We have to also remember the operations that we have discussed. The operations that we have discussed. So Operation Epic Fury, Operation Rising Lion of Israel on Iran, of US on Iran, and Operation the retaliatory operation. The retaliatory operation is called as Operation True Promise. Operation True Promise. These are the operations. In Iran, there are some nuclear facilities that we have discussed, some towns. So remember that towns, nuclear facilities that was alleged by US to have. So you have to remember that also, right? These are the requirements that we have to remember as far as your West Asia is considered. At least these things are must. You have to remember in West Asia. So this year we can expect one question from this dimension. We can expect one question from this dimension. So this is all what we have as far as this segment is considered. As far as this segment is considered, It is what we have. So now let's move to the six. So FTA is one probable question. The second question is from here. Operation Roaring Lion, Rising Lion and Roaring Lion, both. Roaring Lion, Rising Lion, both. Next. So these are the things that we have. So now we'll go to next topic. We'll quickly go through what did Vision IAS has said as far as IR is considered. So I'll be taking you to that component now. Yeah. So let's go for PT 365. Quickly we'll see what is important. Now what I say is you need to read each and everything. Just go through what I say. That is more than enough. So United Nations, 88th year of establishment of United Nations has been taking place. So every year this will be in news. So it was United Nations was formed in 1945 after the Second World War. Right. It was chartered. So some static part you remember. So 1945 United Nations was formed. Headquarters is in New York. Headquarters is in New York. It came into existence through San Francisco Declaration. It came into existence through San Francisco Declaration. What are the five main organs of UN? This is important. You have United Nations General Assembly, United Nations Security Council, Nations Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, and Secretariat. Trusteeship Council is today not operative. So there are six major organs or six main organs of United Nations. One is General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, and Secretariat. In this, Trusteeship Council is not operated. In UPSC, once they ask what are the specialized agencies of United Nations. So there are some specialized agencies of United Nations like Food and Agricultural Organization, ICAO, IFAD, ILO, IMF, IMO, ITU, UNESCO, UNIDO, United Nations Tourism, UPU, WHO, WIPO, WMO, World Bank. So one thing is World Bank is also a specialized agency of United Nations. IMF is a specialized agency of United Nations. So even if they ask, you have to identify major, no need to remember, major groups will be specialized agencies of UN, right? So just remember these things, guys, when it was established, right? Now, what are the six main organs of United Nations? What are 15 specialized agencies of UN? No need to remember all the specialized agencies. Just remember World Bank and IMF are also specialized agencies of UN. And then one thing that you have to remember is in the United Nations Security Council, there are 15 members, five permanent members are there. Five permanent members are there. Now, who are the five permanent members of United Nations Security Council? The five permanent members are China, France, Russia, UK, Israel, US. So China, France, Russia, UK, US are five permanent members, and non-permanent members are also present here. We don't need to remember them. So five permanent members. So there will be 10 non-permanent members, so that they will be elected on rotational basis. So that is not important for us. So this is the first thing about United Nations. You have to remember this table and you have to remember United Nations Security Council permanent 5 members. After that, United Nations Economic and Social Council, this is to look after economic matters and social matters of the world. Right. Majorly it will be looking at developmental aspects and social development issues. Right. So again its headquarters is in New York, USA. Its headquarters, UNSC headquarters is in New York. Right. Just remember the headquarters where it is present. Rest of the story is not important. United Nations Human Commissioner for Refugees, United Nations Human Rights Commission for Refugees. Now here only one thing is important, guys. You have to have this report, Global Trends Report. Global Trends Report of Forced Displacement is given by whom? This is important. Global Trends Report of Forced Displacement is given by whom? United Nations Commissioner for Human High Commissioner for Refugees. So this is the one that you have to remember. So only one thing is important. Rest of the things are not important. You can neglect it. Next one is United Nations Human United Nations High Commission on Rights is headquarters at Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva, Switzerland. You just remember these two. That is more than enough. Next, UNESCO. UNESCO headquarters is in Paris. UNESCO headquarters is in Paris. You have to remember the US has been recently exited from UNESCO. You have to remember the specialized reports of UNESCO. What are the reports that it gives? UNESCO gives, we already know, Man and Animal Biosphere Reserve, World Heritage Sites, a creative sites list, and then yesterday we have discussed these things. Global Education Monitoring Report is also given by UNESCO. So UNESCO దగ్గరకు వచ్చేసరికి headquarters is in Paris. This is specialized agency of UN, and then reports. One report that you remember is Global Education and Monitoring Report. Next, peacekeeping forces of UN, United Nations. This is not important. Leave it. One thing is here. United Nations peacekeeping forces are also known as blue helmets. So who are blue helmets? United Nations peacekeeping forces are called as blue helmets. This is more than enough. Rest of the things are not important. Next, how I am saying not important? If it is important, they should have asked by now. This is not a new agency, right? United Nations Human Rights Council. Now this is important. India was elected unopposed for a 3-year term to UN Human Rights Council for the 7th time. So India was elected for this UN Human Rights Council. 1947 India got independence. So there are 47 members as of now. 47 members as of now. So just remember this. India got elected, right, for this. So it is an intergovernmental body. So intergovernmental body to promote human rights across the world. Like this, you have these things. The rest of the things are not important. Leave it. Next. What are United Nations reports? So remember only few things. Not all are important. World Investment Report is given by UNCTAD, United Nations Convention on Trade and Development. World Debt Report is given by UNCTAD. Next. World Population Report is given by UNFPA. UNFPA, United Nations Fund for Population Activities. UNFPA gives World Population Report. So this is more than enough. Next, International Court of Justice. This is also one main organ of US. One main organ of US. The only thing that you have to remember is where is the headquarters of ICJ? Where is the headquarters of ICJ? This is the only main organ of UN whose headquarters is not present in New York. It is present in Peace Palace in Netherlands, Hague. Hague hosts major international courts. Hague is the place where major international places are present. So Peace Palace is present in Hague, Netherlands. Peace Palace is present in Hague, Netherlands. Very, very important. ICJ. So if you look at United Nations, ladies and gentlemen, among all the organs of United Nations, among all the organs, be it United Nations General Assembly, be it United Nations Security Council, ECOSOC, Trusteeship Council, Secretariat. So these five used to be in New York, or they are operating in New York, but ICJ is the only main organ of UN which is present in the so-called Hague Palace, Netherlands. Hague Palace, Netherlands. So you can remember Court of Justice is also present World Court. Now, what is the major jurisdiction of ICJ? ఎటువంటి కేసులు ఇది వింటుంది? That is another thing that you have to remember. So ICJ will hear disputes arising out of member nations. So there are 193 member nations. Whatever the disputes that are arising out of member nations, ICJ is the only agency that will be designed to hear it. So states, whenever they have, say for example, Pakistan, India, Pakistan is a state, India is a state. So this will listen to the so-called state disputes arising out of the state. Now there is one more thing called International Criminal Court. International Criminal Court. Again, ICC is also present in Hague Palace, ICJ. So ICJ and ICC headquarters are in the same area. That is Peace Palace, Hague, Netherlands. Now ICC will look at individual cases or persons involved in human crimes. సో ఇది వ్యక్తుల యొక్క కేసులు వింటే ఇది దేశాల యొక్క కేసులు వింటుంది. సో దిస్ విల్ బి లిజనింగ్ టు ద కేసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఇండివిజువల్స్, వేర్ of the nations it will be heard by ICJ. Both headquarters is in same place. So that is one thing that you have to remember. IMF I have dealt in depth. IMF I have dealt in depth. So for your quick reference, you have to remember some terms, right? In economics class, I have dealt with this in ASTRA, right? Extended fund facility arrangement belongs to whom? IMF. Remember the terms. Directly they will ask the terms. Terms మాత్రమే అడుగుతారు. So extended fund facility is belonging to IMF. Special drawing rights, you know already, SDRs, right? Special drawing rights is an international reserve asset. Already in static count, I said this is not original currency, launched by IMF in 1969 when they have removed gold as the official reserve, right? It is not a currency in original sense, but unit of measurement in IMF. So how its value is derived? Based on US dollars, euros, renminbi, Chinese yen, Japanese pound sterling. Next, headquarters is in Washington DC. So this is a Bretton Woods institution. Already all this I have discussed. If you want to remember, you can remember again here. So India is a member today. 191 members are there, right? What are the reports? Key reports are World Economic Outlook, Global Financial Stability Report. World Economic Outlook, Global Financial Stability Report. India has 8th largest quota in the world in IMF. So USA is the first quota member. Highest quota is given for IMF. India, no, sorry, highest is USA, followed by China. India occupies 8th largest quota. So these are the things, whatever I have highlighted, you just remember this. Extended fund facility, special drawing rights, from where it is being derived. Next. Now, these are also the remaining terms that you have to remember. Key lending instruments of IMF. Asal IMF ki double ekkadi nunchi vastayi. One is quota system. One is through quota system, such as general resource account అనేసి ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. So every country will be key lending instruments of IMF. So how IMF will get the money? Through quota system. Now once they get through quota, a country which is facing BOP crisis can get money through general resource account, poverty reduction and growth trust, resilience and sustainability trust. Now no need to go in depth, you just should know what are the terms. They will give a term and they will say this is related to which agency అనేసి అడుగుతారు question. Take for example standby facility agreement, extended fund facility agreement, rapid credit facility agreement, these things. So these are the terms which are speaking about the so-called IMF. So terminology good పెట్టుకోవాలి, ఈ మూడు terminology. Extended fund facility, just now I said, standby arrangement facility, rapid credit facility, rapid finance facility, all these are related to the so-called IMF. Just remember that. Next one, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Next, 25th Summit of Shanghai was held in 2025 in China at a place known as Tianjin. So the 25th Shanghai Cooperation meeting was held in Tianjin, China. Next, who are the partner countries of, so there are some partner countries here. You have to remember partner countries, and you have to remember the so-called, what are the terminology associated with it. Okay, so Tianjin Lo, they have conducted this meeting. Next, who are the members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO members? Have a look here. So the SCO members include China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan, Iran, Belarus. So there are 10 member countries in SCO. You have to remember all these 10. China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan, Iran. Remember in map pointing, you will be able to remember them. So remember in map pointing, you will be able to remember them. Next. Now, one thing is, it has a facility known as RATS facility, RATS. So RATS. So this is Regional Anti-Terror Squad. So in order to deal terrorist operations in the region, you have RATS arrangement. RATS arrangement belongs to which organization? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, where is the headquarters of Shanghai Cooperation Organization? It is present in Beijing. So Beijing headquarters, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and you have 10 member countries. RATS agreement belongs to China. RATS agreement belongs to China to ensure that they are struggling or they are fighting against this one. India also proposed Civilization Dialogue Forum to promote cultural exchange in SCO. So this they can ask questions. Civilization Dialogue Forum was proposed by India in which organization? This is in SCO. In SCO. Next, WTO Agreement on Fisheries. So WTO Agreement on Fisheries entered into force after 2/3. This is extremely important. So because just like agreement on agriculture, agreement on fisheries has been one major dispute at the WTO. What is the dispute? Simply understand this. It is the dispute between the global north and global south countries. It is the dispute between the global north. This is the dispute between the global north and global south, not to give subsidies on some agricultural products and marine products. So global south countries argue that we have to give subsidies. Global north countries, on the other hand, say you should not give subsidies. So this was the problem that was present even for agriculture, even for fisheries. As a result, finally, they have come out with an agreement in order to overcome this dispute. Finally, they have come out with an agreement to overcome this dispute, and that dispute and that agreement is this. So WTO agreement on fishery subsidies, right? The agreement was adopted at WTO's 12th Ministerial Conference in 2022. The agreement was adopted at the 12th Ministerial Conference of WTO in 22. Next, this year WTO conference is going to take place in Cameroon. So March 27th to 28th, we have a meeting of WTO. This is 14th Ministerial Conference, which is going to be held in Cameroon. Right. This also I discussed in economics already. So these things, WTO arrangements, GATT, GATS, TRIPS, already I discussed in the economics, so no need to remember here, leave it. So WTO headquarters. WTO was formed in 1995 through Marrakesh Treaty after Uruguay round of conferences. Next, it consists of 166 countries. Decisions are taken on one consensus. Headquarters of WTO is in Geneva, Switzerland. Every 2 years, ministerial conference meets. So India supports a proposal for 30 initiative, that is 30 incremental reforms to mark 30th anniversary of WTO. So 30 for 30 is an initiation in WTO. Important reports, Global Trade Outlook Report, Global Statistics Report. Both are given by WTO. So like this, you have these things. Next. Group of 7 countries. Just remember the group. India has participated in the latest meet of G7, which was held in Canada. So the latest G7 meeting of 2025 is held in Canada. That is called Kananaskis. Kananaskis. Right. So G7, you remember the G7 countries. So what are the G7 countries? The G7 is a group of 7 countries. Earlier it was 8. Now it is 7 countries. It consists of Canada. It consists of USA from North America. And then if you go to Europe, you have UK, Germany, UK, Germany, France, Italy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have Japan. Russia was present earlier, but in 2014, Russia annexed Crimea. As a result, it was expelled from the group. So this is thing G7 countries you have to remember, guys. G7 India attended the 51st summit of 2025, which was held in Canada. So that is the reason G7 is important. Next, BRICS countries met at a place known as Rio de Janeiro. Already I said this. 17th BRICS summit has taken place in Rio de Janeiro. In this context itself, I said that President of India, Prime Minister of India visited Brazil, Prime Minister of India visited Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister visited Argentina, Prime Minister visited Chile అనేసి already మనం discuss చేసాం. So in this context itself, when he attended this meeting, they have went. So BRICS member nations are extremely important. The new member to be joined is in Indonesia. Next. So which are the 11 countries of BRICS? Which are the 11 countries of BRICS? So before that, so this is the summit which was held in Brazil, which was held in Brazil. So this is 17th meeting held in Brazil. The next meeting is going to be in India. That is why this is important. 18th BRICS summit is going to be in India. Next. This is important. Tropical Forest Forever Fund. Tropical Forest Forever Fund is an initiation of BRICS. Just remember this. Tropical Forest Forever Fund is an initiation of BRICS. Next one. Next one. BRICS. The term was coined by Jim O'Neill. The term was coined by Jim O'Neill in 2001. The first BRICS summit was held in Russia. The first BRICS summit was held in Russia. Originally, it has BRICS, Russia, India, China, South Africa. The new members that were joined are Ethiopia, Egypt, Iran, UAE, Indonesia, and Indonesia became the latest entry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, so Ethiopia, Egypt, Iran, United Arab Emirates, Indonesia. So like this, they have entered. There is no permanent secretariat for it yet. So partner countries good bit ko na kar le. So BRICS was a term given by Jim O'Neill, and it consists of 10 countries today. The next BRICS summit is going to be held in India, BRICS India 2026. So that is going to be the 18th summit. That is going to be 18th summit. 17th summit was held in 2025 in Brazil. 17th. 16th summit was held in Kazan region in Russia. Like this you have. right? So BRICS initiatives. So what are the BRICS initiatives? You have a bank known as the New Development Bank, headquarters at Shanghai, China. New Development Bank. Now ఒకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, న్యూ అంటే కొత్తగా ఉన్నటువంటి బ్యాంక్. కొత్తదనం ఏంటి? What is new in this? So here the all the 5 countries of the BRICS. Earlier these are the 5 countries which has formed this. Every country has equal share, equal voting power and equal share. Everyone has contributed $20 billion. As a result, $100 billion to New Development Bank was established. So remember that. Next, this is important. Contingent reserve arrangement. Contingent reserve arrangement. Just like IMF, they have also created one contingent reserve arrangement. So contingent reserve arrangement belongs to which group? Contingent reserve arrangement belongs to BRICS group. It belongs to BRICS group. బ్రిక్స్ పే అనేది ఒకటి స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు వీళ్ళు. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ మిస్టర్ ట్రంప్ ఆఫ్టర్ కమింగ్ టు పవర్ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ హీ సెడ్ దట్ బ్రిక్స్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యావ్ దేర్ ఓన్ పేమెంట్ సిస్టమ్, వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇంపోజ్ 50% ఎక్స్ట్రా టారిఫ్స్ ఆన్ బ్రిక్స్ అనేసి ట్రంప్ బెదిరించడం కూడా జరిగింది. సో దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఫైనలైజ్డ్, సో యూ కెన్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ ఇట్. బట్ బ్రిక్స్ కంట్రీస్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రిమెంబర్ దిస్. నెక్స్ట్, స్పీకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద న్యూ డెవలప్మెంట్ బ్యాంక్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ బ్రిక్స్ బ్యాంక్. Algeria became the 9th member of New Development Bank. Algeria became 9th member anta. Right. Now, so it has an initial capital of $100 billion. All 5 founding members have equal share of $20 billion each. Equal share totaling to $50 billion. Earlier it was 100. ఇప్పుడు కొత్త కంట్రీస్ జాయిన్ అయ్యడం వరకు వచ్చేసరికి 50 అయింది. సో earlier each country contributed $20 billion. Now other countries which have joined, they also contributed for it. That is why it has become 50. But here one thing is New Development Bank. Remember this, New Development Bank. What is new? Everyone have equal voting power. Members have equal voting power in New Development Bank. And where is the headquarters of New Development Bank? Shanghai. This bank is also called as BRICS Bank. This bank is also called as BRICS Bank. BRICS. BRICS Bank anna New Development Bank anna okate. So what are the headquarters? Shanghai. Next, Asian Development Bank headquarters Manila, Philippines. I already said this. Whether India is a member of it or not. Yes, India is a member of it. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, headquarters Beijing, China. Headquarters Beijing, China. So is India a member? Yes, India is also a member. African Development Bank, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Abidjan lo idundi African Development Bank. India is a member. So just remember whether India is a member or not. In all these banks, Asian Development Bank కాబట్టి ఏషియా నుంచే మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు, ఆఫ్రికా నుంచే మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు అంటే తప్పు. So remember, whatever the bank you can have members from any part of the world. If they give a statement saying that only African members are part of it, only tropical countries are members of International Solar Alliance, these type of statements will be always wrong. Whatever the organization you have, you will incorporate any member who is having like-mindedness to join your organization. As a result, that will be there. So these 4 are important, guys. So what we are discussing, BRICS Bank. So what I said, BRICS summit was held in Rio de Janeiro. What is the title, theme of this? Strengthening Global South Cooperation for more inclusive and sustainable governance. Strengthening Global South Cooperation. So last time it was a theme adige, they have just twisted in the theme. Here also they can twist. Strengthening Global South badalu strengthening Global North annadu anko. So that will become wrong. This is an association of Global South. Hence, strengthening Global South cooperation for more inclusive and sustainable growth is the theme. So what are the 11 members? So second thing that you have to remember is the Tropical Forest Forever Fund. And what are the 11 countries you have to remember? BRICS అనేది ఎలానో గుర్తుంటుంది. New countries, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, USA, UAE, and Indonesia. So New Development Bank, Contingency Reserve Arrangement, and Algeria became new country member of New Development Bank or BRICS Bank. BRICS Bank headquarters is in Shanghai. In BRICS Bank, everyone will have equal voting power. But in Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, China has largest voting power. In AIIB, China has largest voting power, followed by India. India has second largest voting power in AIIB. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank lo, India has second largest voting power. This is the thing. Next one, already we discussed this BIMSTEC, sixth BIMSTEC summit with the theme of prosperous, resilient, and open. PRO, prosperous, resilient, and open. BIMSTEC meeting was held in Thailand, that is Bangkok. So the summit was held in Thailand. Now, one thing that you have to remember is what are the big BIMSTEC countries? India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. Myanmar and Thailand. So there are six BIMSTEC countries. There are six BIMSTEC countries that you have to remember. There are six BIMSTEC countries that you have to remember. Now, BIMSTEC headquarters is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. BIMSTEC headquarters is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Next, formed in 1997 through Bangkok Declaration. Bangkok Declaration, right? So member nations, sorry, there are 7 member nations: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, sorry, there are 7 nations, not 6 nations. There are 7 nations in BIMSTEC. These are the 7 nations. Bangkok Declaration, good petkondi, and remember the latest chapter. Next, one famous thing of BRICS is BIMSTEC is, you have to remember that in the BIMSTEC, there are 7 countries, and each country will take one theme. ఒక్కొక్క theme అనుకుంటారు వీళ్ళు, and each country is going to develop that theme. So they are going to develop thematic wise development as far as BIMSTEC is considered. So every country will be given one theme. Based on that, these countries will be developing, or these countries will be focusing. So once they ask this question also, let's have a look at what are the themes that we have as far as BIMSTEC is considered. If you look at the themes, every country is assigned one task, and you have to fulfill that task. What are the tasks? Bangladesh was assigned the task of trade and investments. Bhutan, climate change. Nepal, people to people. Myanmar, agriculture and food security. India, Sri Lanka, science and technology and innovation. India, Thailand, connectivity. Thailand, connectivity. And security is given to India. Security is given to India. So India leads security pillar. So there are 7 pillars for each and every category. So trade and investment pillar is taken care by Bangladesh. Environment and exchange is taken care by Bhutan. People to people contacts, Nepal. Agriculture and food security, Myanmar. Science and technology and innovation, Sri Lanka. Connectivity, Thailand. India, security. They ask this. India will look after the so-called science and technology అని ఒకసారి previous year question అడిగారు. That is not the thing. India will be looking at security. In this, they will be focusing on counter-terrorism, transnational crime, and the so-called disaster management and energy security. These things they will be looking at it. So what are important in BIMSTEC? BIMSTEC headquarters, Dhaka. Bangkok Declaration, 1997. Member countries, 7 countries. You have to remember all the 7 countries. The latest summit theme is important. Next, going to ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So the 22nd Southeast Asian Nations and Indian Summit, ASEAN and India Summit. 22nd ASEAN and India Summit was held in Malaysia. So in Malaysia, ASEAN India Summit was held. That is why this is important. And then 47th ASEAN Summit. 47th ASEAN Summit took place at Kuala Lumpur. ASEAN India Summit is 22nd. ASEAN countries meeting itself is held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now here, what are the so-called the war in Vietnam? So Vietnam war jarigin tarvata Cold War lo they have established in 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand. They have established it. It is established through Bangkok Declaration. It is established through Bangkok ASEAN Declaration. It is established through ASEAN Declaration. Now, Secretariat is in Jakarta, Indonesia. Secretariat is in Jakarta, Indonesia. Now, there are 11 countries. The 11th country to join is Timor-Leste. This is very, very important. Joined last year. Timor-Leste joined last year. Timor-Leste is the only Asian country to completely locate in southern hemisphere. To be located in southern hemisphere, this is the only country. Next. This is more than enough. Rest of the things are not important. So, ASEAN, 11 countries you have to remember. Look at this: Myanmar, Thailand, Laos is the landlocked country. The only landlocked country in ASEAN is Laos, LL. Laos landlocked. Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Philippines, Indonesia, Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste. So you have to remember these borders, guys. Very, very important. Right. ASEAN group, you have to remember Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, Timor-Leste. 2026 they declared it as Indian Year of ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation అన్నారంట. Year of Maritime Cooperation, India and ASEAN. Next. I already discussed about Kaladan multi-model project, India-Myanmar projects, ASEAN Food Security Information System, Safe Agrometric Project. Safe Agrometric Project is belonging to, they can ask this, Safe Agrometric Project is belonging to which group? India ASEAN group. Chalo. Next one. Wilmington Declaration is belonging to which group? They can ask this question. Wilmington Declaration is belonging to which one? This is called Quad group. Right. First ever Quad. So Wilmington Declaration. Now, what are Quad countries? Quad is an association of 4 countries, quadrilateral security dialogue. India, Australia, Japan, USA. India, Australia, Japan, USA. The first meeting of Quad has happened in 2007. The first meeting of Quad has happened in 2007. Okay. We'll do one thing. I'll stop the class here. Tomorrow I'll continue. So we'll be winding up here. So Quad, just Wilmington Declaration. You look at it. That is more than enough. So we are already done with one book that Vision has released. So I am going with the second book that is called PT 365. As already I have said in my first class, I am referring to 3 major sources which have covered almost all the current affairs. First major source is this one. So that will be highly helpful for you. How to read PT 365, not line by line. Whatever I have highlighted, you just go through it. What I will do is, once entire PT 365 is done, I will highlight everything and I will share it. You just go through it. No need to take printout or anything. Whatever I highlight, you just go through it. Or if you want to take printout also of PT 365 already in the market, it is available. Just highlight it and write whatever I say. That is more than enough. No need to go through any other thing. So like this, we'll complete the rest of the current affairs. Current affairs won't take more than 40 days for us. So everything, current affairs and static part. Someone is asking, sir, when you are going to take environment. Last 3 days, again, I was catch up with some other work. So definitely, I'll be coming back. We'll be doing that. Today, if it is possible, I'll be taking the class at 6:30, ladies and gentlemen, for our Astra series. Everything, as I said, today it is March 5th. I'm going to complete it by April 15th. So everything, current affairs and everything will be completed by this point of time. Don't worry, I'll complete it before it. So until last 3 days also I was stuck up with some work, but definitely I'll be starting today itself. I'll be starting with the environment second class, right? So don't worry about it. So my target date for entire current affairs is April 15th. What are the things that I am saying? I am proudly saying that I am following PT 365 vision, because after looking at this vision PT 365, selective reading, no need to read everything. Mudit Jain sir notes, and third one is Budan 500. These are the three sources that I am covering for your prelims current affairs. So just to stick on to it, that will be more than enough. So, but whatever I am discussing in the class, I am releasing the PDF also, a compiled PDF. You can take that. So majority of the things will be covered here. If they have missed something, this will be covered. If this is missing something, this will be covered. So I don't think they will miss anything beyond this level, right? This is what I wanted to say. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Tomorrow we'll meet with our current affairs class number 6. So today there was some errors also in connections and these things. I hope from tomorrow everything will be set right. And as far as ecology class is considered, today I'll try to take at 6:30. It will be very clear now in a while. So 6:30 to around 8, 1.5 hours I will take. Tomorrow, from tomorrow, regularly we'll start. So today also I went out for some work. So at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow, I will be taking the class at any cost. So my target is April 15th. We'll try to do it. Right, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. See you all. Wish you good luck.